Donald Trump's historic second impeachment trial is set to open this week following last month's deadly U.S. Capitol siege. There is a sense of urgency on both sides. Democrats are keen to hold the former U.S. president accountable for the violence. Republicans want the process over as fast as possible. Details of the proceedings are still being negotiated by Senate leaders. Trump is facing one single charge of inciting insurrection, but has declined a request to testify in person. Julia Manchester joins me now. She's a reporter with The Hill. Hello there, Julia. Great to see you. So this gets underway tomorrow. What can we expect?
Well, we can expect the president's attorneys and defenders to essentially argue that President Trump did not incite violence, that he was well within his right under this First Amendment to essentially say what he said. And they'll also say that he did not give direction for that crowd to go to the Capitol and stir up violence and obviously attack the Capitol. That being said, Democrats will likely say the president literally said go down to the Capitol, as well as a number of his other attendees at that rally and other speakers at that rally said the same thing. So it's going to be a lot of finger pointing, I would assume, going forward. But we do know that the president is expected to not be convicted in this trial because of the fact that Republicans are there's not enough Republicans on board to convict.
Right. There needs to be 17 in order to do so. So given that the end is sort of a foregone conclusion, what do we expect to hear, and why is it important for the Democrats to still have this impeachment trial?
Democrats argue that it's important to still have the trial because the president still needs to be held accountable. They say that in the weeks leading up to this insurrection, he was stirring the pot with these very unfounded, widespread claims of voter fraud and essentially really revving up a lot of his supporters to come down to Washington and do this. A lot of his supporters are also on tape and even in legal documents saying, I was under the direction of President Trump. So they will absolutely be citing that. There's also an argument that he needs to be barred from running for political office because of his rhetoric.
So, Julia, will there be witnesses? And if so, who would be called? We know, and we should mention this again, that the president, the former president, was asked to come and testify. His lawyers declined. Who will be speaking?
Well, it's very interesting, the issue of witnesses and showing evidence, because this trial will quite literally be taking place, at the scene of the crime, a crime scene where the Capitol was attacked and the mob entered through right in the chamber. So, I think that will obviously be a powerful tool Democrats can use to make their argument. Essentially, a lot of senators in the chamber and even House members are witnesses to this as well. So, there will be witnesses, I guess, in an unofficial capacity in a way. We don't know if they will essentially speak, but there is, talk about getting law enforcement to come and testify, or even some of those lawmakers who were present for the insurrection.
How long is this impeachment trial set to last?
Well, we've heard a number of different estimates. We've seen that some trials have, on average last 20 or so days. So I think it depends on, how this goes forward. But I would be willing to bet that Democrats, as well as President Biden, are, although they want the evidence to be presented, they're very much walking and chewing gum at the same time with passing the stimulus bill as well as this trial. So I think they would want one or the other to wrap up as soon as possible because they have a lot on their plate.
Julia Manchester, thanks so much. Good to see you.